Well, one of the things everybody asks me is, what are you going to do with your garden? Are you going to have a garden at your new homestead? Is it going to be the same as the one that you had in Virginia, or are you still going to do container gardens? Are you still going to have trellises? We're going to answer every single one of your questions today. We'll be right back.
This video covers planting a garden, how to plant a vegetable garden.
Well, welcome back. When Nancy and I were still in Virginia, we started planting our garden a couple of years in advance before moving down here to our Florida homestead. And the reason for that is I needed to know a footprint size of the garden that we wanted and needed, and our plans for our homestead, so we would be able to know how big of a piece of land we were really looking for. And the only way to do that is just start sketching everything out. We drew out the garden, we drew out the chicken buildings, the turkeys, everything that we could think of in advance, so we could know how much property was going to be required to do what we wanted to do. So today we wanted to go through the garden complex because everybody's really curious about what we're going to do. And this is the sketch I drew up when we were in Virginia. You can come on up kind of close and take a look at this. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this okay, Nancy? Okay. Well, a lot of people were worried that when we started talking about 15 acres that we were going to be doing farming with tractors, and we're not going to do little hobby gardening anymore, or anything that you could do in your own backyard. And everything we do here at our new homestead will be able to do in your own backyard. Even if you don't have property, you could still do container gardening. You can do everything we've been doing that we were showing in our Virginia videos and our Florida videos. We're still keeping with that same theme. Now, for the new complex here, it's much larger, but on the same, it's using the same methodology that I've always used. But I'm going to have two earth gardens right here. The reason I have two is I always have a trouble overlapping my spring and summer garden with my fall and winter garden. They always seem to overlap, and I have to rip things out premature, and it really breaks my heart to pull out things that are still producing. So when this one is active at, let's say with the spring and summer vegetables, this fall and winter garden, I'll be working the soil and getting it ready for the winter. And any chicken manure or any kind of animal compost I'll be putting in here and turning it in and getting this ground ready for the fall. And then when the fall gets here, I put in this garden and I'll work this soil while I'm waiting on spring to come back. And it gives me a place to put all my animal compost, which gives me a full circle of all the operations around here, so everything is recycled. So that's why I have two earth gardens. I'm also going to have several raised beds. All of these raised beds that you see down here are quite large. They're in the ground raised beds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have at least 5 trellises, and the trellises are twice as long as the ones that we had in Virginia. They're pretty good sized trellises. I'm going to also have my tomato cages, and they're going to all be enclosed because I have a squirrel problem, and you know what? I'm tired of feeding my green tomatoes to squirrels, so I'm just going to give up and put them in an enclosure and get it over with. And then we have more raised beds here, and then I'm going to have a long row of grow tables. This is all my container operation right here. Then we'll have my reclamation boxes, our seed starting racks, hardened tables, planting tables, all those type of tables you always saw us using in Virginia. We'll still have those here. We'll have a large processing table, a large harvest table, wash tables. We have all those operations that'll be incorporated into the garden. We're going to have tool sheds, composting area. Nancy's going to have a nice herb garden that she's going to work from, a greenhouse. And of course, I'm going to set up our memorial for my son Michael and the cross, and also to give glory and honor to God for giving us this beautiful property. So we always like to have the cross in the nearby. So we're going to be doing that, but they're also going to have to enclose this entire garden area because of massive deer population that we have down here. Not only do we have deer, but we have every other kind of animal you can ever imagine out here running around. So we're going to end up having to put in quite an extensive fencing system. So this is the garden. We're looking forward to getting this started. And of course, this garden is quite large. It's a couple of acres. And in the north parcel of our property, we have our north parcel is 5 acres and is partially wooded, and some of it's fully wooded. But the partially wooded part's about 3 acres. So this garden complex will be about 3 acres. And we're going to have some land developer that we've met down here. They're coming in next week to break ground on this thing, because this is much larger than anything I could do by myself. So I'm going to have some help. So let's go out and take a look at the property, the north parcel, so you can see where we're going to put this thing. And we'll be getting more and more excited as the day gets closer, when we actually stick a shovel in the dirt and get going here. So let's go out and check it out. Well, this is the area I was talking about where we're proposing to put our garden in, and the garden complex is pretty expansive, so we're looking forward to that, as you can see. So the first thing we got to do, again, got to start with a chainsaw. All of this area right here has got to be completely cleared out down to the ground, so I can get that dirt and work that soil up and get it prepared. It's going to take me quite a while to get that soil back to life, because I got sandy soil here in Florida and it's pretty poor. So I'm going to work on it and cultivate it in and get that soil built up to where it's a 6.5 on my pH and it's good and rich, and it'll retain some water so it doesn't just fall right through. So anyway, we're going to get busy on getting this land cleared off here in the next couple of days. They're going to start on that. I had to contract that out because that's a little bit too much for me by myself. So this one required some bulldozers. So we'll even take a few shots of them while they're in action ripping this out. But what I thought we'd do is just take one quick ride around here and show you the before picture of what it looks like, and then after they get through, we'll do an after picture and show you what it looks like, and give you an idea how big our garden's going to be. We're really looking forward to that, ain't we, baby? Mm-hmm. Okay, let's jump in the golf cart and take a ride and see what we got. Well, that's the trip around the perimeter of the proposed garden complex. I hope that ride wasn't too bumpy for you. It's kind of hard to video out there, but this place is going to really be transformed in the days ahead, and then we're going to work on it for quite a while to get that thing up to snuff so we can get us some stuff growing, because our goal is to grow 90% of our food, including meat. So we'll be back in a few days as soon as the guys get here to clear this land, and we'll watch how they do that together, and we'll show you an after picture when they're done. So we'll show you soon. Boy, has it been a big week around here this week. This little machine right here is a real monster. It can get the job done. We've already knocked down all the trees in the north parcel in the area that we want to put the garden. And we've got all the trunks laid out where we're going to strip them down and shuck them and get them ready for the logger. The logger's coming in, he's taking them out load at a time. He already took his first load yesterday, and he's got about 3 or 4 more to go, and we'll have all the big logs out. That way we don't have to burn the big ones. We can just log them out, which is good because I hate to waste a big old tree if it can be used for something. So they'll take those to the pulp mill. Then all the tops of the trees and all the brush and all the other stuff we'll take over to the burn pit, and it got quite a large burn pit set up. It's about 5 times bigger than the one that I normally use, and it's packed. It's not only longer, it's also deeper, and it's filled up to the top. So we'll be lighting off the burn pit this week and burning the rest of this debris out here soon, and also logging out the rest of the logs. So every day this week is going to make a big change out on the garden complex area, and we're real excited about it, looking forward to it. So we're going to keep sawing off the stumps off the end of the big trunks, shucking the trunks down and getting them ready to go, and light the burn pit and get this show on the road. We love looking around out here because when you look at the area, it looks like there's a giant wall of pine trees. We call it the pine curtain around our garden complex. So it's pretty cool when you step back and look at it. It's just solid trees and it's cleared out. We're real excited. So we'll be looking in the days ahead. We'll keep an eye on this and watch the progress of this as we get it all pulling together, and we'll be back to show you some more in just a couple of days. See you soon. One of the major milestones on clearing the land is actually burning off the debris, and today we're starting to burn the burn pit. We got the approval from the forestry department and got our burn permit, and the satellites are watching us. So today we're going to burn, get the first burn going. We have about 4 or 5 burns to do to get the field cleared, so it's an exciting day. Well, Mr. Charlie's got the burn pit lit off with the initial light. Got about 5 spots cooking. We'll let this get good and hot, and we'll start feeding it. And it's going to really put on some heat at that point. So let's let this thing get going. I like burn stuff. Well, the burn pit's been burning for about 30 minutes. It's amazing how fast that thing gets going. It is now going to start to pick up in temperature. It's going to get hotter and hotter, and that bottom of that pit's going to just really melt that stuff that Charlie's pouring into the hole now. So as long as he feeds it, it'll burn down just within an hour. That big scoop that he puts up there will be burned. He's just constantly feeding it. So we'll be back in a little while. He's got about 2 acres of debris out here that he's going to feed the pit. So it's going to be a big day for us. Taking a little while. Well, Charlie's got the burn pit really cooking. You can hear the grease of them pine trees just a crackling. See how he's put these big loads in 1 scoop at a time. That would take me hours in my little burn pit just to do that much debris that he puts up in 1 scoop. So you can see the magnitude of what's going on here. Is when you start doing 5 acres of this at one time, it takes a lot of fire to get rid of it, the debris. So it's been an interesting little project, and he is really cooking with grease now. Ain't this fun? Well, it's been a month. We've been working on the north parcel with the tractor service, and man, that was a blessing to have that heavy equipment here to help me get this stuff done. We've got the north parcel cleared. It's ready for us to start working on getting the garden set up, so we're pretty excited about that. That's, you know, a big milestone for us here. So I thought today we would just jump in the golf cart and take a ride around just to show you what we've done so far. And just getting it cleared was a major undertaking. So let's take a ride. Well, I hope you liked the little tour around the perimeter road around the garden complex in the golf cart. I know it's kind of bumpy and lumpy while we're riding around. I hope it comes out good enough to where you can see it. But I wanted to stop right here and just show you for a minute. I staked out the future earth garden right here. Just to give you an idea how big this place is. This is 2 earth gardens that I'm going to have, one for summer and one for fall. And if you'll remember our garden in Virginia, this is larger. Each one of these earth beds are actually larger than the garden that we had in our entire backyard in Virginia. So this is over twice as big as that, and we haven't even put a dent in this space. So we're really excited about having some elbow room up here. We're going to have our earth gardens, and we're going to have our trellises and our raised beds, our container garden, our seed starting, our composting. Everything is all going to be out here, and it's going to have spacious, ample space to do what we need to do, and it'll all be golf cart accessible. So we're excited about that. So this is a big milestone. We broke ground, right, baby? Mm-hmm. Got it broke, and now for the hard part, actually getting it built up. So we're going to start bringing you some new videos and show you the progress of that as we move along. We hope you enjoyed the groundbreaking milestone with us. So until we see you next time, always remember, by His hands we are fed. Give us, Lord, our daily bread. Amen.
Have a blessed day. Thank you for watching our videos. We love making them. If you like our videos, we ask you to partner with us in our mission by sharing our videos from YouTube and post from Facebook to all social medias. It really inspires and encourages us. Some great places to share is Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please like if you like this video, subscribe, click the notification button so you never miss another video. Click below for products we used in the videos, and you could also partner with us without spending a penny. We welcome your encouraging comments, prayers, and questions. And thank you for watching and sharing our videos and posts. Have a blessed day.